Alright guys, get rid of fraps. Alright guys, welcome to your next tutorial. Today, part 3, we're going to handle list item clicks. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do this in a separate class because I find it easier to do this. And when we get clicks done, we're going to move on to customizing the list view. You know, we're going to paint different text, different colors or something like that. Depends. You might hear some Skype noises, by the way. So we're going to say we're going to create a class and we're going to make it private. And we're going to call it click handler. Okay, and we're just going to, this click handler, and we're going to implement. And I can never spell implements right. I'll look at them in a second. Anyway, we're going to implement on list item click listener. And then create our class. Done. I'm gonna have to look this up, hang on. There we go. Okay, so I've got it working now. I changed implements and handle add-on implemented methods. So what this was actually doing was it's just confusing. But essentially we're going to write in our array adapter. Okay, our view is going to be called view. Our int is going to be our position. Okay. And then our long argument we're just going to leave as argument 3. I believe that's what it is. So now that we've got all this, we've got this all set up. It's actually implements on item click listener and on item click, or on this item click. Anyway, this is just how you do it, okay? So we've got that now working for the list view. So what we want to do is, when we click it, we're just going to get the list view and we're going to get the string. We're just going to put it into a toast to show you how it works. So if we just get rid of planets here, we're going to have to move this up here and make it a variable for the whole class. And then get rid of that. So when planets comes up, obviously it's not set up everything. And then you can only tap it once it's available. Because remember, onCreate is fully executed before the user can interact with the activity. So what we're going to do is we're going to say view. Now when you click something, I'll bring this up here. I actually rotate the emulator. As you can see, the emulator runs brutally slow. Okay, and here's ListView tutorial. There it is there. Okay, so this row here, this view of what this is, so that view is our list item, our list view row, and that's what we've got. So we're going to say view. So we're actually going to say text view, and we're just going to call this list text again equals text view view dot find view by ID or dot ID dot list text. So what we've actually done here is we have, that view has been passed in. So when we click it, the view that's clicked is passed in here to this list text view, and then we're going to get the text from it, and we're going to say first of all we're going to make a string text equals list text dot get text dot to string. Okay, then we're going to make a toast. Toast equals toast dot make text, and we're going to have this. Now we actually can't have that context correct because don't forget this is referring to this class here, but we want it in the context of this activity, not in the class. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a context object up here to handle this kind of thing. I'm going to say context, okay? And then what we're going to do is up here, underneath this, we're going to say context equals this. Now what this is actually going to do is it's going to store the context of the activity in this here. This is useful if you want to pass in a context. So we're just going to say context here. It's very useful for nested classes. Our text is going to be text, that's enough, and our duration is going to be toast dot short. And then we're going to call dot show. Okay. Oh, yes. So, yeah, toast.make text.show. So it's going to make the text and that activity's context. So it's going to show up on that activity with the text from that. Now, what about this position? What is that? Well, the position can be many things. One of many things. The position change, the int changes depending on where we click. So, if we bring up the emulator, if we click Earth, that means it's going to be of position 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, which is fair enough. If we were drawing this over a database, it would be the CID column is int. Because remember, in Android, you generally put in the ID column, and that's an integer primary key auto incrementing. So that increments down along. So you would use that to get the rest of the data from the row, for an example. So we're just going to put in text plus position. And I spelled that wrong. So we're going to just see text plus position. Actually, you know what we'll do? We better put in a space. We say click. At position, there we go. So that's going to show up now our that will show up the text that's in the text view and position, and then show it up. Okay, so let's run this. And then whichever view will get clicked will pass in and create our content. Now if you want to know how to flick the emulator, it's Control F11 is the shortcut, and that will cause a rotation on the emulator. So we're using it in landscape mode, although we could use it in portrait. It's an either or thing. Okay, so now if I click one of these, actually you know what, I won't do anything. I forgot to do something. Forgot to set the click listener. So I get our list view dot set on click listener on item click listener. That's what we want. Okay, and we're going to say this or new, because it's a class, list click handler. So that's going to set on item click listener and a list click handler, which is our object down here. Now we could just say new on item click listener and then implement this method. We could have done that, but I've decided to make it into a separate class. And now we're going to run it again and make sure it shows up. And then if we click Jupiter clicked at position 5. Saturn clicked at position 6. Planets of the solar system clicked at position 0. And there we go. Pluto clicked at position 9. So that is handling the clicks for the list view and how to add a listener to detect the clicks. The next video we're going to go over header views, and then we're going to go on to custom adapters. But next video is going to be header views.